This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Jackie Krawczyk, who is the Executive Director of the Alpena Chamber of Commerce. Good morning and welcome, Jackie.
Thanks, Nancy.
And I'm so excited we're going to talk about accomplishments of 2013. And if people think that this town hasn't been screaming in 2013, that the Chamber hasn't been out there in the forefront of that screaming, think again.
Yeah, they haven't been paying attention then, I'd say. And it's interesting that you say that because I tell people that we list all these accomplishments or our biggest accomplishments, and really the things that people actually see that we do are a very small piece of what we really do. So some of the things that we're most proud of are things people may not even have known that we did because it was so behind the scenes. But and you're involved with one of our most successful programs was the Good Morning Alpena events this year. We kind of gave those a little bit of a makeover, did some things different, had record attendance, had the great series of those events. We had our best LeaderCast event to date. We educated our members on the Affordable Care Act, so we had a great series and follow-up education on that. Something that's kind of telling about how we're doing as a chamber is this was our first year of having a full-time member services director. Mm-hmm. She was hired partway through last year, and this was our first full year with her. And it was kind of a risk to add that position, but she has added tremendous value to our members, and we couldn't be happier with taking that risk.
And I will agree to that.
Yes, you know her. She does a great job. We also took our relationship with economic development to a new level, so we've got more support than we've ever seen for economic development. We're actually ending this year with the Economic Development Board talking about how can we hire new staff, and we have projects that are coming to completion that we've been working on for years. So we're thinking about what does that mean to the community and what do we need to do. So that's
exciting. A natural association too, I would think.
Yes.
The money, the economic development, and the Chamber of Commerce that's out there promoting the community. So I'm really glad, and that's something that should have happened many, many years ago.
Economic development it's all about businesses.
Yes.
And so it does make perfect sense.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was great. Our Government Relations Committee had an amazing year. We accomplished some great things in that committee. Our Northern Michigan Chamber Alliance, we did some good things, but the one I'm most proud of is that this was the first year we gave out dividend checks to some of our members from our relationship with Accident Fund.
Perfect.
So to give money out to businesses was a pretty exciting thing. We also worked on the Alpena College Access Network project, which will, once it gets rolling more and they start doing some activities, it'll help increase our educational attainment levels, which is phenomenal for economic development in this area. So those that were our biggest accomplishments, and like I said, some were very visible, like the Good Morning Alpena events, and others were very behind the scenes, but we spent a lot of time on them.
I know you did. So give me an idea what some of the goals are for 2014.
Sure. Our board met not too long ago, and they did some strategic planning, and they came up with 3 primary goals. Of course, maintaining the things we're already doing, but the 3 things they want to work on is develop leadership and foster more mentoring. So we've got businesses that are kind of at a growing pain, and they want input from other successful businesses on how to get to the next level. So we'll be working on that. And we're also working on creating a regional plan to do more regional work as a chamber. So what that means to us, we're not sure of the details yet, but is it going out to other chambers and helping to strengthen them somehow, or helping take on some of the projects that they're doing? We're not sure. And then the third one is to develop and support more entrepreneurs in the area. So we know that communities are going to grow and economies are going to grow as entrepreneurs become stronger. So we need to foster that from within.
And we do. You go and there's houses being built, there's buildings being built, there's new businesses coming to town. And I know the Chamber is a very important part of that. And I think for the first time in many years, too, all government agencies are working very well together. Mm-hmm. They're all playing very nice in the sandbox, which is it's the way it should be for everyone in the communities. And I see you have some wonderful new board members who I've not seen their names involved before, so I'm really excited that they're coming forward and going to be on the board. Their ideas, from their professions that they're bringing to the board, what a great idea.
Mm-hmm. We try hard to mix our board with people who have been in the area in business for a while, with people who are new to the area, and so we can blend those ideas. And also we look at what industries we're missing on our board, and so I'm very happy. I've always been very happy with our board, but we do have some great people coming on.
You do. And that's something I'd like to tell people in the community too. You know, if you want to be involved, you know, and you're starting to set your New Year's resolutions that I'm going to be involved this year, you know, what a great way. Come to the chamber. There are so many different committees, so many different groups and events, even working in the chamber office as a volunteer, helping to stuff envelopes and answer phone calls and follow up on things. There are so many volunteer opportunities, and you really would be a part of the growth of your community and helping out in many, many ways.
It's true, and I just tell people you get out of your community and everything what you put into it. And so when you're involved and when you're invested in it, you get more out of it.
And having the CVB in your office and having downtown development, and those two ladies are like on fire in this community.
Yeah, well, yeah, that whole building is on fire in a way, and it's pretty incredible to be in there and how well everybody gets along, and it's just a really cool place to be.
And having the people from the reality show here, I mean, what a great coup for our community. There's certainly many other communities on the Sunrise side or on the west side where they could have done the same exact thing, and they chose Alpena.
Well, yeah, and people are giving us more attention. And our annual dinner, which is February 20th, the theme of it is Teamwork Makes Alpena Work. And one of the things we're working on, we're going to have examples of all the things in 2013 that really took a team effort to make successful. So you had the hog rally, the fishing tournament, the fireworks, programs that we worked on, just all kinds of a whole array of different things. And we're going to demonstrate how powerful teamwork is. And those are just some of the examples. We just need to keep doing that.
Well, it's a proven fact that teamwork, gets more things done and more success than an individual. Take the I. There's no I in team. Take that out of there and get out there and get to work.
That's right. Yep. And if you're not willing to get to work, then you're not allowed to complain.
Very good. I agree too. That's what I always say. And at the annual meeting, they'll be doing the Citizen of the Year.
Yes.
So we ask people as you're out there in your day and you think, man, that person is so wonderful in our community, and it's the people that I always like that are behind the scenes that not everybody knows their name and knows about them, and the phenomenal things that they do in our community. So, go online and nominate them, or go to the chamber, get a form and nominate them, and let people in the community know what a wonderful asset they are to our community.
Yep, we have Citizen of the Year, Business of the Year, and a couple other awards that you, by all means, please nominate for these awards. People deserve the recognition. And
a very important thing is call Ashley and join the chamber, because it's important that you, as you said, if you're part of our community, the more people we have, the more voice we have.
That's very true, yes.
We're out of time. I want to thank you very much, Jackie.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Dr. Jason Mussman following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm not with Dr. Jason Mussman, as I said I would be, but I am with someone equal as important. I am with Ann Diamond, who is here today to talk to us about all kinds of wonderful things going on at the hospital. Good morning, Ann.
Hi, Nancy. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And we know Dr. Mussman was very busy, and we were hoping that we could get him here. And
we'll get him here another day. How's that?
Yeah, because I really want to do. People think of plastic surgeon and reconstructive surgery as, the Hollywood housewives, but there's so much more than that. So I really want to let people know the services that are available right here in our own town.
Absolutely. Dr. Mussman is also the medical director for our hyperbaric chamber, also for wound healing and things like that. So he's got a pretty full plate between cosmetic and reconstructive and just surgeries that enhance people's lifestyles, also in needed surgeries, plus wound care and healing. So we'll get him back on another day.
Yes. And as the year is winding down today, what I really wanted to talk about was how thankful we are in our communities for everything, and particularly at Alpena Regional Medical Center, the people who are out there doing fundraising and donating money and allowing us to provide those wonderful services as we provide. Anyone who's in healthcare knows that the amount that's approved and the amount that it really costs, there's quite a stretch in between the two of them. And so you provide wonderful care to people in our communities, and the fundraising is very important to provide that care and those facilities and those services.
It really is, Nancy. I think most people realize, but I don't know that everybody does, that Alpena Regional Medical Center is owned by the county, and we're a nonprofit hospital. So anything that we make goes back into our facility and services, and healthcare is so important. And the technology is so expensive also.
Yes.
So our community has been really generous in helping us provide the best technology available, and we have an excellent facility here. And that's a thanks in part due to our community members who support the hospital.
And when you cut a hole in the roof and drop a whole new machine in there, obviously that wasn't an inexpensive project.
That's true. I think just delivering that machine was quite expensive itself, but that was a new MRI machine. We also have a new CAT scan or CT scan machine they're both state of the art, and we've got some exciting new things going on at the hospital, and we're just really excited to be moving forward, even in these uncertain times in healthcare.
Yes, and back to the gift giving. We want to let people know there's so many different ways that you can give money to the hospital. I mean, you can do it as an individual. There's planned gifts, there's annual support, there's Keystone Society. There's so many different ways. Give us an idea of some of those opportunities.
Nancy, you're awesome. I mean, you've got it all down. Of course, you're one of the people that help lead the effort. The hospital is very blessed to have about 50 community leaders that assist us in raising funds for the hospital, you being one of them. And I think that's so important, and it speaks so well of the hospital that these community leaders have stepped forward to assist. So we've got many different committees that, like you say, it can be an annual gift, it can be an Anchor Society membership of $100 a year, it can be a one-time gift, it can be a planned gift, a will, a trust, estate plan, life insurance, a gift of life insurance, anything like that, percent of the estate. And it also can be a larger gift over a certain period of time. You can direct it to a project or a department that you're specifically passionate about. If you've had a good experience and you want to help that department out, we can designate gifts like that. We really try to let the donor direct what they want to do and make their gift a statement of what they really want to say and have the impact that they want it to have.
You know, and that's something very important. If you wanted to go to, to the cancer center, it can go to the cancer center. If you wanted to go to rehab, I mean, any of the departments that you would like that donation to go to, it can go there. And something really important is, yes, I'm on the annual support committee. Do I donate a lot of money? Absolutely not. Maybe I can go out and get more money, or my small gift added to a bunch of small gifts do really make a difference.
There's no such thing as a small gift. We are very appreciative for any size gift that we have, because we have a lot of people that really don't have the means to give a large gift, and that's fine. When you combine those gifts, they make a huge impact, no matter what size, and we're especially grateful for any and all gifts and contributions to the hospital. And
something that I'm very excited about, because I know how important it is to our community, is there's going to be some new and wonderful things happening at the emergency room. Absolutely. We're moving forward with the emergency department renovation. It's going to be a kind of a long project for us, and it's over a $7 million project, about a $7 million project, and it's going to be done in 5 phases, with the beginning of it probably March of 2014 we'll break ground. But we're in the process now of getting the timeline down, but there's a lot of ancillary projects that have to happen in order for the emergency room renovation. Right. But as anybody knows that has been in the emergency room, there is a lack of privacy there, and this will offer private rooms. We're going from 14 bays to 19 to 21 private rooms, and also there's going to be a real trauma area. So if someone comes in via ambulance or a horrific accident or something, they will have privacy and not disrupt everyone else also. So we're very excited about being able to offer that to the community. And I would, like to challenge anyone, if you've used the emergency room in the past year, send in a donation. If it's $5, mark it ER. Send it to 1501 West Chisholm Street, and get that project off and started, because unfortunately I've used it more times than I've really wanted to in the past year. And I guess I've told you this in person, but I'll say it publicly, that from the emergency room to second floor to third floor, to the hospitalist, to the food services, to the cleaning people, to the care assistants, I mean, we had world-class care right here in Alpena, and it was so reassuring and so wonderful that, you're right in your backyard. You don't have to travel out of town. You don't have to pay for a hotel. You don't have to be worried about traffic, and you can spend the time and the energy, taking care of your loved one and making sure that they're getting the care that they need. Absolutely. That's very kind of you to say, Nancy. We have an
awesome staff.
You do.
Our care team is second to none. They are so compassionate with our patients. We've got a wonderful medical staff also, and so we want to be able to support them by providing the best equipment and environment that we can for them to work in and to do their best. And so hopefully the emergency department project will allow the physicians to excel as they always do, and the care team also. There's going to be a couple ancillary projects to that also. We're moving our mammography suite is going to be taking up new space that we have received the Breast Center Health Center of Excellence. We've been designated.
Great.
And we're going to have a whole new dedicated space for the mammography suite too, which is great for the women of Alpena and our surrounding communities.
Okay, we're out of time, so we want to thank everyone who's donated in the past year, and we're looking forward to your donations in the new year.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Jointon following these messages.
Good morning. I am Jay Walterite, and this is the Alpena Community College portion of Talk of the Town. Thanks for joining me. With me this morning is Bob Tosh, our manufacturing instructor at the college. Welcome, Bob. But it's not just manufacturing that you teach at the college.
Correct.
We're here this morning to talk about another facet of the manufacturing world, which is
The CAD-CAM program.
Okay, tell me, first of all, what is CAD-CAM? Because that's kind of I know it's a lot of abbreviations. What does that stand for?
CAD-CAM is computer-aided design, computer-aided machining. So we use a lot of computers, use CAD design software where the students can create the models, create the drawings, then use computer-aided machining software to create the programs to machine the parts. And then we go into an inspection where we actually inspect them. So the students in the program get skills in computer-aided design, computer numerical control or computer-aided machining, and quality assurance type, inspection type skills. So that gives them a broad-based skills to, for getting those employability, getting a job, stuff like that.
Okay, so for the computer-aided design portion of this, they have to use a special software? How does that work?
Yes, they use primarily a 3D modeling software, we use SolidWorks. We also have Inventor and AutoCAD. So they, get to learn several different softwares to create the models and then to create the 2D drawing packages.
Now, what types of things do our students design?
I have students designing tooling, just parts where they'll get a drawing from a vendor and they'll need to maybe make a change to it, update some drawings. Here again, then to be able to create the CNC program from that CAD model.
So what they do is, say, a drill bit. Would that be something they could do?
Actually, they're sharpening gun drills, so they, could do something like that.
Gears?
Mainly a lot of tooling. And it depends on which, I have students working, they're making, drill bits over at, there's a medical company in Boyne City. They will, make medical drills and reamers for bone drills and stuff like that. And plates and things like that for, medical parts.
So the CAD part is that they can envision what this piece that they're going to create is, and it has all of the three-dimensional measurements and specifications, correct?
Yes, and typically they'll take an existing part and they'll say, well, we need one like this but slightly different. So they're not really designing from scratch, mainly modifying to make a new part, a different part. That's kind of more of what my students would end up doing.
So once your students have created this model in a piece of software, what happens next?
Then they could take it into a computer-aided machining software, a CAM software, where they bring the model in and use it to create the code, the G&M code or CNC code for the machines, so that then they could take that code, export it to a machine, and set up the machine and make those, drill bits or whatever it is they're making, or tooling parts or things like that.
So why don't you talk about that programming part and talk about the machines that do all of this? Because in my mind, I have this image of somebody standing over an old-time machine, like a lathe, and they're kind of scraping stuff off. What are the machines like these days?
Nowadays, they're fairly complicated. We have some fairly inexpensive ones at the college that are about $50,000, the inexpensive ones. And Those machines, they program them, then load the program in the machine, set the tooling, and the machine does all the work. You know, it's pretty much enclosed. There's no more turning the handle, the handles. It's all fairly clean environment. You know, where the machine, it's automation. It's like a robot machining the part. It's you know, you're not really getting your hands dirty anymore. It's all, you know, programming a computer and having the computer do all the work for you.
So the students aren't actually making the piece. The students are doing the programming of the machine.
Yes.
That then automatically makes the piece.
They program and set up the machine, which then would make the parts, as many as they need, for a given production run. Then they would program and set up for a different part or a different product line. So.
And then after the part is out of the machine, there's another step to all of this?
Yes. Then there's typically the first part that comes off. They'll do a first part inspection to make sure that's good before they finish running off the 20 or 30 they need. And then they could go into, some of the students have moved into, they've been doing it long enough, they moved into inspection areas. I just got an email today from a company looking for a quality assurance person. And I have some students that have been, you know, after you've been there a while, have moved up 7 or 8 years, they're now moving into supervision. So now they're supervising other employees. So it's kind of a, you know, a stepping stone to get that next better job.
Well, you mentioned jobs, and I'm glad you did, because one of the things I was hoping you would talk about are the availability of jobs for things in this area that our students will take classes in.
Yes, there's many job openings. Actually, I think there's 3 right now open in Alpena, but in all northern Michigan, there's a lot of jobs. Partly because automotive, you know, has come back around from the recession, so all those jobs have come back. Part of it because the baby boomers are retiring, and there's some companies around here they haven't hired in a few years because of the recession, and some people haven't retired, and now because of a lot of retirements, there's a shortage because there isn't, you know, nobody has gone into it for a while, and now the demand is really increasing. It's actually, I get emails weekly from companies that are looking for people throughout the United States as well as Michigan. There's many jobs in Michigan, literally hundreds of jobs in Michigan, and then companies all over the United States are emailing me also looking for people. So they have the ability to move wherever they want to move, if you know.
Or stay here.
Or they could stay here. There's a lot of local jobs in northern Michigan. I have students working at companies from Tawas to Sault Ste. Marie, from Alpena all the way over to Charlevoix. In Harbor Springs. So, you know, a lot of students have moved to Traverse City also. There's a lot of jobs over there.
Now, you've mentioned quality assurance is one position. What other types of jobs are there in this area?
Quality assurance, and then there's just being a machinist. You know, CNC machining, and there's a couple of manual machining jobs. I know a company, they're looking for more of tooling, tube forming machines and stuff like that, maybe equipment builders, things like that. You know, different, depending on which company you're looking for. There's a lot of, you know, there's 100 and some companies in northern Michigan that would employ students with these skills.
Well, speaking of skills, we just have a couple seconds left, but why don't you describe what a typical student in your program is like? What skills do you need to have to be successful?
There are some math skills, but a lot of it's hand, some hand-eye coordination skills, being able to see what you're doing and visualize concepts, and then computer skills, and you know, being able to think independently and work in teams. Also, sometimes you're working by yourself. We do some team projects toward the end of the year where they do a complete process from start to finish, where they start with a design up part, drawings, machine it, and go into inspection and program a machine to automatically inspect the part. So it's a lot of different skills, very diverse skill set.
All right, well, great. Bob, thank you very much. That's all of our time.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me.
Yep.
And thank you for joining me. Once again, I am Jay Walterwright, Director of Public Information and Marketing for Alpena Community College, and this is Talk of the Town.
With Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.